everyone. All righty, here we're live. So, hello, everyone. Hello. I'm here with Dr. Repass of Seattle NAD. Brother, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, appreciate it. Excited.
Very welcome. Very welcome. Excited to have you.
Let me go ahead and go like this a little bit. So Dr. Repass, here we are. This is my day one of doing this infusion, NAD+. What is NAD+? What is NAD?
NAD is an essential cofactor in multiple enzyme pathways in the body. The mitochondria is where it's most well known, well studied, from people taking their biochem from going to med school or whatever other professions. And they may remember it from that. It also can help. It's essential in restoring and repairing DNA. It helps restore our functions in the body, and I'm using it primarily as an adjunct for detoxification from alcohol and drugs because it helps to accelerate recovery, accelerates metabolic processes. We think by providing the energy to the cell, it's a major way that it does that, and it's pretty remarkable. It's really too bad the medical community hasn't embraced it more.
Well, that's why we do these videos right here to get more word out there about it.
Yeah, exactly. There's only probably a couple of hundred physicians around the country doing this.
That's all.
And and a lot of naturopathic providers will do it too. But unfortunately, there's not a lot of rigor in terms of how it's administered, and people don't understand that it's a long process. It's an extremely practical solution. It's as practical for as giving a bag of vitamins to somebody who's depleted, but it's extremely therapeutic in helping to really restore recovery much faster. So I estimate it could save billions of dollars in terms of recovery for very extreme illness, in the ICU.
Right.
I've tried to reach out to various parties about it. I do believe
I'm going to help you out with that. I'm persistent, consistent. Like I said, you said it's a long process. What do you mean by that long process?
So it's a process to saturate the body in this high dose of NAD. You're receiving the 1,000 milligram dose here. We will go higher sometimes for more intense and people in very severe illness states like alcohol withdrawal. But this is a very important thing. We have to saturate for a long period of time to give you that acceleration of recovery. That's what it's about. The therapy is being on that IV for this long, full day of the recovery, and do that for this minimum of 6 days to really see a major benefit.
It's some dedication going that long for sure. It is a long process. 8 hours a day, 6 days. This in a week. You like to see it together like that?
Yes, right? Yes. That's a way. So, and this particular protocol was developed by Dr. Medier at Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
You sent me that link,
and his wife. And the whole team over there they've been sort of the flagship. Okay. I learned this from one of his trainees, Dr. Ken Starr, and then I became a trainee of his as well.
How long ago was that?
That was going on 7 years ago, probably, that I learned about NAD the first time, and then studied it in 2018 with Dr. Medier.
So you have a background. You mentioned that you worked with Schick Shadle before.
I did, and
which is no longer in business.
And this is what's remarkable is it was studied in 1961 by Dr. O'Halloran. That's how we know to try to use NAD for alcohol withdrawal. That's how it came to pass. That we were using it for that, and that was sort of the flagship for us to be able to see what's possible with it. And then Dr. Medier took that and other information and put together this protocol that we use. we vary the protocol little by little, but for the most part, we follow these protocols.
So when you're talking about the protocol, you're talking about doing this, but you're also talking about supplementing with other vitamins also through the processes, correct?
The brain restoration protocol, yes.
Oh, and I just got to whip this out right here, just for fun.
Yes, we want to supplement. We want to supplement some basic antioxidants. B vitamins where appropriate.
What else are you putting there?
Magnesium. TMG is sometimes a very valuable tool when somebody has a methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase deficiency. You'll see a metabolic kind of stalling, and NAD will actually result in, by doing this infusion, you might actually get sort of fatigued doing it, and the NAD, the TMG will help restore that. You can also use L-methylfolate, but TMG is a lot less expensive, and it has actually more methyl groups per molecule to help with those functions.
So you have a background in psychiatry as well, correct?
Yes, I'm a board certified psychiatrist and addiction medicine specialist. I'm board certified in both. I was working at Schick-Shadel for 5 years before starting my own clinic now, almost 6 years ago.
Here in Mercer Island?
Here on Mercer Island, yeah. So Schick-Shadel was a wonderful experience. It was a very unique, different experience, and sort of taught me how dysfunctional the rest of the world is, and how we really don't define things in a proper way. We're trying to define addiction as though it's an inherent problem to somebody, rather than understanding it's a combination of an injury from a substance along with a propensity to develop habitual patterns of use that are learned in large part because it's a survival mechanism. It's a survival mechanism for us to develop addiction, because that's how you stay in balance with those very dangerous drugs.
So then also, like I'm big into reverse aging.
Yes.
Right? So are you. So I see. So can you explain the benefits for aging the process? People that want to feel better, people that maybe have had trauma, people that, or traumatic brain injury, some of the other benefits that can assist with.
So we know that David Sinclair at Harvard is studying this.
Dr. David Sinclair, yes.
And there's a lot of people at very high levels who are involved in that whole process. We know with sirtuin actions, this is a big place of study to help reverse aging, help slow the degradation of the DNA.
Can you explain what sirtuins are?
They're switches that help to help
the genes,
decide,
right?
And the genes to help decide which ones are going to be used when, and this is where I'm not quite as strong in this, but they're very important in terms of us seeing how we can slow that process down, telomere, lysing and keep the chromosomes intact. Yeah, the NAD really helps to repair DNA to keep us intact.
So your NAD goes down over time. People have to actually supplement with it. Every person that ages, we all do.
We estimate it's a combination of sort of losing our efficiency at developing the NAD, and also our need for NAD goes up in our 40s. Across our 40s is when that's really happening.
So it's a must to supplement with this then.
Absolutely, it's foolish not to. And there are multiple,
for the average person to supplement with it.
Yeah, we're still developing kind of the best ways. I know David Sinclair talks about NMN being a good way of getting your NAD.
Can we talk about the precursors a little bit? Because I brought a precursor in here, obviously, with you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, from what we know, I do know that for treating, when things are more severe or when we really want to accelerate recovery, I think NAD alone is a superior method, because the way I like to talk about it is it's like giving somebody a product you can sell for money, or giving you money itself.
Right.
So NAD is the money itself. You give money, you can do anything with it instantly.
Right.
If you give you a product, it's valuable. You can sell it, you can do stuff, but it's a process, and that itself takes some energy and takes some work.
It kind of reminds me of Bitcoin mining. You can either have Bitcoin or you can mine Bitcoin, and that takes energy to mine Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Right.
It's still worthwhile, but it's just that we need to, because even niacin can be used for supporting the.
So some people, let's talk about that, because niacin B3 vitamin,
Mhm.
right? And so then there's niacinamide, nicotinamide, or whatever. There's different forms of the B3, niacin flush, which I don't feel a flush coming on from this.
Right, and that's just it, because the process of metabolizing niacin has some toxicity to it, and we have to be careful about that. But you can use it still as a precursor to get you to pressure you up. But this is the shortcut is to use the NAD directly and just get right to it. And,
I mean, I've experimented with a lot of niacin in the past, and different forms of niacin flush, with or without flush, but I don't feel that would have any kind of profound effect. I think the other precursors are more valuable, whether it's NMN, just thinking out loud, probably. And stuff.
David Sinclair says NMN is more in measurements that they've done of NAD levels. NMN was shown to increase it, but NMR was not. There's also a study that showed NMR to increase risk of cancer, which is a little bit of a concern. Cancer.
NMR,
yeah.
Not MNN as a precursor.
Right. But theoretically, certain cancers could be accelerated in growth by using these products, because they're making things grow faster, potentially, if that is the defect in the cell.
Right.
However, as we talked about earlier, it's also repairing DNA. Mm-hmm. So, the benefits usually outweigh the risks we estimate, and we don't really see with all this.
Well, it also makes me think that it's more, that even stresses the importance of really to, whether it be doing NAD therapy or else the precursors as well, to help prevent the cancer from taking place, because as the genes turn off the sirtuins, right? These are our defenses that are the genes that open up potentially to this. So it's important to take action way ahead of time.
Right, to help prevent it. Correct. And we know, and of course, what we're treating is we're trying to help you heal from and get rid of toxins. And we know, alcohol, for instance, is a carcinogen. And so we're getting rid of those. We're helping repair and restore and prevent, as you're getting at. Prevent.
Right, and everyone seems to drink nowadays, right? So everyone's poisoning themselves. What's the most profound testimonial that you've experienced here at the clinic? You've had this place open for how long now?
What have I witnessed? I mean, the wonderful thing to witness is somebody who's in very severe withdrawal, and you put them on simply an infusion of NAD, a very natural substance. It's a vitamin, basically. It's the active form of B3, Right. And to be able to do that and watch them just recover their function, calm down, feel better. Oh, within even minutes, it can
awesome.
Help. And it's really wonderful. Of course, there are some extreme cases where we still have to do other things, but this is a foundational part of recovering, and is giving you the vitamins and nutrients back that you need.
What are some of the other benefits that people can experience, like muscle mass? I see, or weight.
Stamina, just in general. I think that repair of your muscles is going to be faster. The energy and mental clarity is the thing most people almost immediately notice. It's sort of mindfulness in a treatment. It provides you the ability to be present and mindful at a given time. Body aches and pains.
I would say that even goes as far as higher levels of consciousness, even with being more present also.
It really is. It facilitates. There are a lot of people studying it with psychedelics as kind of an adjunct to help support psychedelic therapy.
And you guys do ketamine here also, ketamine infusions also.
Yes. There are
awesome.
using ketamine is for both depression and for withdrawal. It's being used for opioid withdrawal in various circles, and using the NAD in conjunction with that is helpful for withdrawal, and potentially to make those reactions that occur with the ketamine go faster and more definitively. We're still working that out, but there are providers who are doing that with success.
Yeah, I mean, for the past 7, 8 months now, I've been focusing on mitochondria enhancement technologies and really helping a lot of people, as I shared with you. And people are talking online, very reputable people, about when you raise the mitochondria, you're actually raising consciousness, which has been really interesting. And this is NAD has an effect on mitochondria, obviously, is one of the big benefits of that as well. So it's kind of
absolutely.
Interesting.
We're making the mitochondria their most efficient possible. So that allows for us to generate the energy you need for all the functions of the cell. So as your cells are trying to readapt from this, what I estimate is sort of like Windows safe mode. When we're under pressure of different toxins or whatever problems that we're facing, the stress, the traumas from the past that we're living with.
Right.
We need all the energy we can get to regenerate and reboot back to normal, back to our DNA-driven functions.
So with the precursors, wasn't the government potentially trying to stop NMN before or something? That have you seen this?
I think the problem is the FDA has certain rules, and when something is being investigated, they want to shut it off from production. I don't fully understand it, except for it benefits the people investing in commercial applications. So it doesn't necessarily benefit the rest of the world.
Right.
And that's an unfortunate.
But there's just other precursors to it. I mean, now that I've been researching MNN, I have on Facebook all these companies promoting, and I go through the testimonials, and people are like, it's changing their life so much. All these precursors, like all these benefits. It seems like it's kind of a tough thing to stop.
It really is, and it should be in many ways. But of course, we need to define it. We need to study it better, and we need to make it a more normal part of our everyday function.
Right.
The classic thing is thiamine. Thiamine is a critical nutrient that we have to have. And
that's a B vitamin too, right?
B1.
B1. That's great.
It's so essential. You'll have brain damage if you don't have it. And that's Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. It's a nightmare. If you've ever seen somebody, thankfully, we fortify everything with it. We just put it in everything so that even people who are drinking will tend to still get it. But we need to make sure we give it, So, whenever I do treatments, I'm always loading people up, and I use benfodiamine too, in addition to regular thiamine, because it crosses the blood-brain barrier better. But that's such a practical thing. Nobody questions that, because we know there's a damage. But the thing is, without NAD, we're being damaged all over our bodies. Kind of universally, there's damage going on because we don't have enough. And so just give it all. It's kind of a more universal drug rather than something that's very focused on certain enzyme reactions like thiamine is. This has benefit to every cell in the body.
Wow, it's powerful. It's so powerful.
It's foundational to our health.
So, what is your goal and your vision of in your practice, and where would you like to see it evolve as more awareness comes about the science?
What my dream is to go from being somebody who treats people who are just withdrawing from substances all the way to somebody like yourself who's trying to really optimize their life, really find the best health, and really and reverse aging. Right.
Yes.
I think that the value should be equal. The value that you have is what we should be seeking to. That's the value. As a physician, I should be serving that. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to take away somebody's alcohol because they're a bad user. That's a bizarre belief system that we live in.
Yeah, I mean, I like to party a little bit, but you got to take care of that's why. But
I'm here to uplift a person. I'm here to give them their best, and that's all I'm interested in. So I'm not here to judge and put down and shame. That's not what it's about. It's about us. What can I do to make your life better? And what I'm telling you is, sadly, drinking and using drugs isn't really making your life better. I mean, with the caveat that psychedelics seem to.
Yeah,
definitely. Not seem, they do.
So are you having a pretty good effect on people using psychedelics with depression and stuff like this? Has it been you've seen some pretty good off of, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty amazing what ketamine can do, and what we're going to be seeing out of psilocybin and MDMA and others, and I think it's pretty exciting because we need these accelerators of recovery, because we're living in a world where we're all duped by industries that are selling us addictive and toxic things,
poisons and stuff,
and we're all dependent on it. And alcohol has been the flagship, with human beings playing with it for 8,000 years now.
Right.
But it's sugar is huge. All the additives they're in. There's books written. I can't think of the guy's name, but Eric Bricker did a video about it. The physician's book that talks about this, and we need to stand up as a medical community and say, hey, we're in this for the very best. We're not in this just to use a drug to treat a problem and keep somebody alive for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
We need to optimize.
I just was thinking, I had a funny thought about how the Super Bowl, they usually have Budweiser or whatever, being promoted at the Super Bowl or whatever, a big sponsor. In the future, having like magic mushrooms companies sponsoring the Super Bowl or something like that. It's just interesting to see. I mean, we're in Washington State, laws are changing. Weed is legal, obviously. I don't like weed, but mushrooms coming now illegal. What are happening around here? You got quite a bit of good stuff right there.
Yeah. And, it's a really challenging thing because the medical community, we're held to this high standard, and we have to be careful about how we're talking about things that haven't been sanctioned by the medical community. And really, that's the power of the pharmaceutical industry has really
once on the radar, they can shut down just like that.
And it's a shame because we really need to be using these tools, and we need to be studying them. Every university should be studying NAD. I mean, that's just it's irresponsible not to.
Yeah.
We know the benefit. It's an obvious benefit. It's just how to use it and how to use it efficiently, how to get it in, what we can mix with it, what we can't, how to hang it in the ICU. It'll resolve delirium. It'll save lives. It'll save millions of dollars.
Yeah, I'm just getting it done here, guys. Right here as we're talking. So this is going pretty fast. Should we go faster on it?
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good right now. Feeling.
Are you feeling those little waves?
Not even, maybe the slightest bit now of us. We're going to go ahead and turn this up even more.
Turn up a little.
This is good.
But again, it's not about it being turned up fast. We want to, although sometimes it really helps to turn it up fast.
Right. Yeah, we can rock and roll. I'm hardcore. So we're upping the speed of this going in right now. Okay, we start kind of slow. We're going to go ahead and up it because we got a big bag to go ahead and do here. I'm probably about an hour or so into this here now, and I got a long day ahead here for the next whole entire week. So I just chill in the boardroom. Golly, So I think they just how I came to see you. Just looking back this last week is that the precursors that got brought to my attention. It changed my life basically within 12 hours of taking a precursor. I had never really supplemented with NMN precursors, or excuse me, NAD precursors before, right? There's so many, all these precursors. How many precursors are there, by the way, to NAD?
So NMN, NMR, and there's another one I can't think of.
Take it down to B vitamins. So about
niacin, but I mean I'm talking about those more immediate ones.
What about children with ADD? Like, in what grade? What ages have you treated with it?
I've treated a 17-year-old, but I haven't gone lower. Other than my kids, I give them the NAD sublingual tablets. But they don't really need kids don't need it so much because they have a lot. What we want to do is avoid toxic things to them.
Exactly.
And they'll be fine otherwise. Just stop traumatizing them.
Right. Such a crazy world.
So, but yeah, everybody as they enter, like 40, especially once he like 45.
Yeah, can you tell about the graph, how things start dropping off then?
It really starts tapering down by the, 45, and by the time you're 50, you're at about half the levels you were when you were a kid.
Wow.
It's really brutal. Yeah. So it's.
So what about like when you're 70? When you're 70, where are your levels at, you think? My parents are 70, 80. Where are they at right now?
I think they're steadily dropping, but
you think they're like 10, 20%, something like that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but you can just imagine it's a pretty steady drop because we just have more and more repair that we need to do as we get older, and we really need to fix that. And you know what, I think David Sinclair, he talks about this notion that it's a disease, aging. We have to change that.
Definitely.
So reversing.
What is the controversial what is the controversy of David Sinclair? Why is he so controversial? All publicity is good publicity.
I think because people don't want to believe that it's so simple. Sometimes there are sometimes some commercial interests involved, so there's going to be skepticism. But it's against culture to limit what we're eating and do things differently. And I think it's a process. Whenever there's kind of new information, it takes a while for us to assimilate it and really understand.
When was the aha moment for you about NAD?
I think when I just realized because it was sort of a process of becoming AHA.
Of getting educated. That's what I'm doing every day, is I'm educating people about the science now.
And that's the thing, is people don't quite realize like just how good this is, because it's not like it's not so we think of things as we want instant gratification, instant response, and this is a process. I mean, I see the benefits of doing these treatments that go on. Like, you're going to notice benefits immediate, but then months from now, you're going to notice benefits. You're like, wow, I really was able to achieve this and this. And I think it was because I did that NAD,
Right.
And you're going to have changes in like your body's function, your, aches and pains you didn't even realize you had will go away.
Good. I'll take that.
Things like that. It's pretty remarkable and subtle, but life is a very complex process. And this is kind of in the background, kind of lifting everying up.
What about psychologically also, like noticing stuff through time also?
Huge psychological improvements. It's in allowing you to process in your limbic system. We're able to deal with post-traumatic stress. It really does help resolve and help people process their emotions so much more efficiently. Mm-hmm. It reduces anxiety hugely because of that, because it's empowering the cells to function. That's what it's doing.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Wow. Whoa, I'm just like, wow. Let me see. What else are questions I have? I'm just looking forward to working with you and helping spread the word. From first met, it just has been like a really good experience. I see a lot of potential of this place, your facility expanding, and then working as a team worldwide just to bring awareness to this, just in spreading the word. I mean, a lot of people, I think this week I probably educated hundreds of people alone already on NAD. They want to take the next level. Oh, my next question for you is, for people that are, let's say after I do this, for example, when would you recommend coming back after this, this $6,000 treatment that I'm doing this week?
So every month, every month is definitely a good idea. If you're taking,
and that would cost how much for a touch up?
Usually we charge $1,000 for this bag, roughly.
Right.
Hopefully this price will go down over time, but it's something that we can,
Why is it so expensive?
It's just expensive to make the NAD itself. The compounding pharmacies have to get a raw product and they have to process it and make sure it's properly balanced, properly dosed, and then we bring that in and we mix it with the normal saline. There's all these just running you got to pump.
Of course.
A lot of places don't use a pump, but it's better because you just get that steady amount. You can really target that dose for yourself. Are you feeling it, by the way?
You can truck a little more if you want to. I don't care.
Well, I don't want you to go too fast. Now,
Okay, that's fine.
Remember the process.
I'm trying to get home for dinner later on.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the process is being on this. So we're saturated.
That's right. You said the longer we're in this, the better, right?
It's like if you're going to soak in the fountain of youth, you want to do it for just 5 hours. You want to do it for the full 7 hours.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the difference, and that's really this is the closest thing to that.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, that's reality.
What other thing excites you in reverse aging technologies, or what's your regimen?
So I'm still working that out, but basically I'm a simple man. I try to keep it simple with just some good supplementation of NAD and some basic NAC, quercetin. Dr. Schwelt I'm a big fan of his. He does MedCram, and he has some great educational videos about numerous health subjects, and so that's one of the places I get, and then various other sources, David Sinclair and all that.
Right.
But I focus on just some NAC, some quercetin, good multivitamin, fish oil. Those are the kind of things.
I showed you the ingredient list on my mitochondrial enhancement technology.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that complementing NAD therapy right there?
I think there's a whole variety of things, right? There's antioxidant
You've seen the ingredient list.
and some things that help with neurotoxicity, to reduce toxicity, right? So I think there's a lot of potential there to optimize further. I've astaxanthin, for instance, I learned about that actually from a patient. I learned a lot from my patients.
Yeah, we're all working together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why, like, the knowledge, the technology is. I think we were talking about this the other day, how it's just expediting nutritional supplementation on top of from AI to everything. It's
mushrooms,
just expediting right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think my big thing is, I want to get this out there and build, and I want to ultimately bring this to everybody foundationally from a medical standpoint. I feel it's my responsibility as somebody in the know to bring this forth in a way that is palatable and systematized better for the community, for the world. Yeah. I believe we can use products in a inpatient setting where we can heal everybody. But we also, there's another target that we need to go to, and that is a target of the toxicity of our culture generally, how we don't value human interaction and connection.
Yeah.
Value the time we spend.
Well, and also the more toxic people get, they can't be in the moment also, right? So relationships are falling apart because people are unhealthy, and it's just like, I mean, even when I've been on ketamine treatments and stuff, I've done 6IV, and these thoughts cross my mind. You can energetically, you see where society's going in these hallucinogenic states, and just like, but at the same time, I see hope in when I'm in these treatment sessions, when I meditate on that, and how we can really change on using psychedelics. I've done a lot of psychedelics.
Human beings are amazingly resilient, and what we don't do is we don't celebrate that and value that. We punish people for being, for not being perfect, even when they're being assaulted. When somebody's drinking a fifth a day, they're a superhuman if they're surviving.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say my dad, but he likes to drink some good scotch. Yeah.
But like when they're able to live and drink there, they're surviving that assault on their body. Yeah. And then, but we label them as being an alcoholic, when really the whole culture is alcoholic. It believes in the use of alcohol, even though there's no safe amount. So it's not logic that we're following here. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to wrap our heads around all these concepts. I mean, it took me many years to comprehend and see this. And so I've got to try to get it across that, we've got to just flip the value system to, we're going to value you in reverse aging. Exactly. You're trying to be
that's my goal, is the more I shine with this, the more people are going to pour into this technology. The more the awareness is going to go ahead and increase on of this technology. The more the word is going to spread out there more about the other people. So, we were talking about just spreading the word and stuff like this, and people have to come into a clinical setting to do this right now. But my goal is to help you expand, and bring awareness to this center. I'm dedicated. I love helping other centers, and stuff like this. Go ahead.
Well, I hear what you're saying, and I think that what you're making me think about, is we want everybody to be healthy and well, right? And we want to get everybody who's not into your population, right?
Exactly.
And following you. And,
I mean,
and just
this science, like people know, hey, the protein drinks out there, or drinking a good greens drink or whatever the heck out there and stuff like this. But we're talking about like a real big science that a lot of people just don't know about right now. And just
and it's and I think that I think keeping it as simple as we can is really important, but kind of understanding that all these additional things have value that we need to grow into and understand that if we prioritize our health and well-being, we focus on that, we're going to be able to get all these things going. We're going to normalize these processes, normalize taking these supplements on a routine basis, and have everybody stop focusing on the harmful things that they're doing to themselves and start focusing on the things that enhance their lives and bring them joy.
Could I ask you a question about the ingredients of this right here a little bit, or no?
Whatever I know.
So, like for example, this has the vitamin A in it, which is good for what?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that is.
Well, here's a more exciting one for you. For example, doing like calcium, AKG. What do you know about that?
I don't know. You were teaching me.
There we go. We're
yesterday.
learning together, right? So at the beginning of our precursor. What about fenugreek? I bet you know a little bit about that.
Fenugreek, so that has a process of a GABA B agonist for calming.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I definitely feel that. And then also, I love this one. This is fisetin, Fisetin. You've heard that one?
I'm not sure. I think.
No problem. Again, we're all learning together. This is
absolutely.
But yeah,
I have a lot to learn.
I mean, that's how powerful you guys. That's how powerful this science is right here. Is day one, whether I don't have any experience taking NMN. I don't have any experience taking just a regular calcium AKG. This was just a precursor that I had taken to NAD+, but it hit me so hard and my girlfriend so hard that it was definitely noticeable. I was like, okay, I got to take a look at this. I'm not trying to overhype something, but obviously this is a big thing where people are coming into. This is not just coming into do an IV therapy of B12 vitamins like a Myers cocktail. Right. This is something that is really transformational for people that have gone through trauma and people that have had alcohol, drug abuse and stuff like this, and regenerating and rebooting people right there.
Absolutely.
So that's like really just cool. Man, I really appreciate everything that you do, brother, and thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing where this adventure goes, and helping educate the world. Say anything else at all?
No. Thanks for talking, and if anybody has any questions for us. I think this gentleman is. Yeah,
we'll keep spreading the word. And go ahead. Your website is on. What's your Instagram?
So SeattleNAD.com. I think at SeattleNAD. I think we're working on a couple. We're right in the process of building all of it. RevolutionInAddiction.com is my prior website and still active, but we're rebranding to call it Seattle NAD to bring more awareness and more positivity to it, because people hear psychiatric and addiction treatment and who knew they think negatively of it.
It's like shifting consciousness.
So it's and I have and I don't want anyone to feel belittled and to feel less than. I think that there's enough of that in the world. Yeah, we need to uplift everybody so they can get up to your level. And
definitely superhuman style, All right, bud. Well, thank you. All right, guys, thank you for paying attention. Appreciate y'all. All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was good.